All right, man. It's really been hell. Past a couple motor situations. Like I said, having to swap the cam sensor on one. Uh, then came back with the 6.0. The other 6.0 broke the timing chain after the first crank. Um, so then I went to the 6.2. 6.2 crunk up one time. Okay, after that, it was like it was struggling to turn over. Oh man, what is this here? It was an old starter. I said, hey, cool. I got another starter that was fine. It was just on my car. I ain't been using it. Let me run get it. I run get it. It's full of water. That starter's just clicking. Click, 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 click. So then I had to go to the store to buy a starter. I go to the store to buy a starter. It's still kind of, I said, man. We called my head man. I said, how much you took off these heads? I said, man, I took a good little bit off. He said, the compression part going to be up on it. I said, that's what it sounds like. Cool. So I get another battery, put a hot battery on it. Boom. Finally cranks up. I said, man, it's about time that I win one, man. But I am going to be big on humility this year. So I'm not portraying anything, like everything is roses and dandies. I run into problems too, man. It's part of it. I was telling dude the other day, I said, man, when it goes good, it's good. It's enjoyable, but with the sun comes the rain. The joy and the pain. It's just part of it. It's ups and downs with it, man. Nobody has per se. I guess every first crank went good. All my first cranks have not went good. I have forgot wires. I have forgot oil pressure, sensors, and go to crank it up and just shoots oil in my face. I've done that. I have gone to crank it up, and like I said, batteries be dead, starters be dead. Just man, I've had bad power wires. I had bad ground wires, man. This was my first time actually breaking the timing chain. So I've been there, man. I've seen a lot of it. So don't be discouraged. Watch who you getting advice from. If you're a quitter, you can get advice from a quitter. If you're not a quitter, everybody knows a quitter. Don't go to that quitter for advice. Just because they quit and they jumped off the cliff and now they down there in the valley miserable, don't ask them for advice, because all they're going to do is get you to jump off the cliff with them, because misery loves company. So if you're not a quitter, don't get advice from a quitter, because in the situation where I'm at, it's like I pretty much built all these motors for me, and it's honestly like I could have just took them and shoved them in the back of the machine shop and said, screw them all, I don't need them, it's whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, it's like the money that I put into them, it's just like, man, I don't want to see these things sit up and not crank, so what am I doing? I'm sinking more money. I honestly, at the machine shop, I probably spent like $200. The motor's already together. I had not crank sensors, I had cam sensors at the house. I didn't feel like driving to the house, so I went and bought cam sensors. Okay, so after I went and bought cam sensor, then I needed, I think, spark plugs. So then I went and bought cheap spark plugs. That was like $40. The cam sensor was probably like $50. It was just some more small stuff. I think I needed a carburetor gasket, and man, it was just small stuff, and it just added up like $200 just trying to get a crank out of it. And then I get that one crank, and then the timer chain breaks. It's like, it is no way that is not discouraging to anybody. In a situation where it's like, now I have bent valves, that might be a person to where they spent their last pennies on this 6.0, because man, this 6.0 is a dream motor. It just is, man. 4th gen, 6.0, 706 heads on it. Been milled, my stage 2 can high volume oil and pump, all ARP mains, rods, head studded, MLS head gasket. It's the works, man. Torsion and upgrade, rock arms. It is the works. And of course, ring gap. This is a dream motor, man. And for somebody to be to put their dream motor together and spend their last few pennies in it, and to see that happen, that will make you get out of it and never get back into it. But I'm just here to tell you, man, I have used this exact same chain probably 20 times and haven't seen a problem with it. It just happened to be one bad. And like that's what you gotta understand when you getting into this stuff, man. On my first big block that I fully built, putting the cam bearing in, came back and looked, I was like, hold on, that's cracked. That was gonna be a problem. You know, it was just from the factory. It was cracked. And it's just like if you don't catch that putting it in, then it's over. And you don't always catch it, you know? You just don't. It's just certain stuff you cannot, it won't show itself until it's warm or to a certain amount of pressure and RPM is on it. So don't be discouraged. Anything man-made, it will, I repeat, it will fail. Eventually, it will fail. I've had some ignorant statements go something like, oh, if you buy this name brand here, it won't break. Lies. Lies. Just lies. That's all I can tell you. So, man, all I can tell you is don't get discouraged on anything. And I give a lot of life free game. It's not all motor and car building free game because, man, you got to be able to manage and make it through life first before you can even think about a car. You got to take care of life situations and living financially stable first before, or at least, you know, starting to try to live financially stable before you even start a project car. This stuff is expensive. It just is. Even going a cheat route, it's still expensive. So it's just like, I'm trying to give you the game on how to even move through life to even start to get to the point of putting together a project car, man. So that's the free game on the day.